underway for the continuing European Weightlifting Championships of 2016. Centre stage this afternoon, the women who weighed in at just under 75 kilos, 165 and a quarter pounds, or around 11 3/4 stone. And the field of 8 featuring lifters from Germany, Armenia, Moldova, Ukraine, Poland, France and Russia. And there they are with the body weights that they weighed in at within the last couple of hours. But the big absentee, I have to say, is the defending European champion Lydia Valentin from Spain. She really is a class act, and more of her in a moment. There's Nyoka Schanke for Germany. A lot depends on her today, whether Germany will get a qualifying place for their women at the Olympic Games in Rio. Sonia Pegasion, European junior silver medalist last year. And next up, Natalia Plišepa, representing Moldova. 26 years of age, 8th in the world rankings a couple of seasons ago. The bronze medalist at the Junior Worlds last year was Irina Decker. And she, at 19, one of the younger members of the field today. And representing Poland, Małgorzata Wieczak, 23 years of age, a bronze medalist 3 seasons ago in the Europeans. Runner-up last year, Nyoka Schanke, used to live for the Cameroons, now represents France. And 2 more to go. 4th in the European Juniors last year. This is Anastasia Shishanova, 17. She is the youngest of all the competitors today, and completing the field, the under-23 champion of last season. This is Liasan Makyanova, representing Russia. But as I said, no Lydia Valentin. She was injured last year, wasn't able to compete in the World Championships, and is still recovering from shoulder surgery. And the understanding is that she should be fit enough to compete in the Olympics. A really well-contested category over the years. Some great winners. Lydia Valentin for Spain has won the last 2 editions, and Natalia Zabolotnaya for Russia. She notched up a hat-trick between 2008, 9 and 10, and she was certainly one of the best performers we've seen in this women's 75-kilo competition. So the B group were in action earlier in the day, and the performance by Meri Ilmarinen, in picture for you now, is the best of the performances. Meri, who produced 2 good efforts on her 2nd and 3rd attempts, and 96 kilos overhead, and she is the leader, so to speak, in the clubhouse. Overall, Anna van Bellingen of Belgium was the best athlete from the B group with the total of 214, and she was best in the clean and jerk, and we'll show you that lift, the clean and jerk lift, a little later. So just about to get underway, and Nyoka Schanke of Germany to get us off and running with, at the moment, 95 kilos posted. That was what she posted originally. She was going to come out at for her first attempt. Well, alongside myself, David Goldstrom, it's Michaela Breeze, and Michaela, yeah, we're poorer for the loss of Lydia being sidelined through injury, that's for sure.
Yes, but it's good news to hear that she should be back in time for Rio.
It is. Lydia, who won last year's competition in Tbilisi, totaled up 263 kilos. Huang Shui, who won the World Championships in Houston, 282. Well, I don't think we're going to reach those sort of totals today, but this is quite a competitive field, about 17 kilos, the spread amongst the entry totals, which don't always mean a lot, but it's just a rough guide. And so out onto the stage, in fact, it's Sonia Pegasion, who originally posted 95 kilos, has gone up to 97, so again we can assume, I think, that warm-up has gone well. 18 years of age, representing Armenia, and already a European junior silver medalist. That was last season.
some very deliberate lifting. If you watch the movement, very robotic, really attacks through the middle, almost hesitates at the top before dropping under. Very dynamic.
And by a kilo immediately passes Mary Ilmarinen's best effort from the B group earlier in the day. The B group really shouldn't trouble these A group lifters at all. And, okay, first one you should really get because you've lifted it a million times, so to speak. And now out the European under-23 champion, Liasan Makyanova, representing Russia. In effectively first senior competition, and that's a good way to start.
It is. That lift flowed a bit more than we saw Pegasion just a second ago. Nice to see these lifters coming in and securing their first attempt. Really strong in the back, good extension, confident underneath the bar, no problem at all.
She's the lightest of the class at 72 kilos 87, so body weight puts her into the early lead. And now Nina Schott from Heidelberg in Germany. I'm just talking to Oliver Caruso a little earlier on, 5-10 minutes ago, and he was saying, you know, much depends on her performance today in terms of getting enough points to at least secure one place for one German female lifter in the Olympic Games.
Soft at the bottom, manages to recover.
But 98 kilos it is, 3 white lights, and she goes straight into the lead. 215 her total, sorry, I beg your pardon. Yes. 215 was her total last year. She's going to do better than that today.
Well, that's good to see, and hopefully we're going to see these lifters stepping up now. These Olympic spots are getting closer and closer today and tomorrow, and then everything is decided.
Now, already a bronze medalist in the Europeans some 3 seasons ago, Margazata Liajak, 2013 in Tirana in Albania.
Looked to be a rather nervous start to her competition. Just caught it in front, manages to take a step forwards to steady herself and get back underneath the bar. That will do, it's a good lift. But I expect to see more oomph through the middle of the lift on her second attempt.
Shushanova of the Ukraine, straight directly to the bar now.
Well, just look how wide her hands are. That is a huge distance apart. Takes a lot of pressure on the wrist to be able to lift like that. And the reason she would do it is for less distance for the bar to travel. Very, very wide grip. It's an awful lot of strain on the wrists and shoulders, but she's able to cope with it. Good lifting.
Yeah, I originally had her down as a personal best of 94, but I know you picked up that in the President's Cup she lifted up 104 kilos, so that's her personal best. So good start here by the field, and Pegasion out. Just to whet your appetite a little bit, Natalia Plichapa of Moldova has posted 104 kilos for her opener, and Irina Decha of the Ukraine 110, so she's the heaviest starter. So most of this field will have finished before she even begins. So Pegasion. $100 kilos. This for me definitely a personal best attempt. Yeah, and 3 kilos more than she lifted in America at the World, so moving forward in a good way, in a good direction.
She's only just out of the junior ranks by a couple of years, so one of the younger lifters in the group. And nice to see her opening up now as the competition unfolds.
That's been a feature, actually, of these European Championships. A lot of athletes who've been just recently having success at junior and particularly at under-23 level. And these, actually, a lot of these athletes are going to be the athletes of the future to look forward to. The bar up to 101 kilos for a 4-kilo increase now.
Just seeing Decker in the warm-up room, just 80 kilos on the bar, obviously timing her warm-up to perfection. She's still got a few more lifts before we're going to see her. I think that's 90 on the bar. I can't see anything inside the collar.
30 seconds. The clock's running down, and this is Liasan Makianova. She's not left herself a huge amount of time. Now, I don't know whether the coaches have got it wrong, but she'll just about be all right. Let's hope she lifts this. Steadies at the bottom, drives up.
That's good enough.
Little sigh of relief there. I mean, she's got a best of 110 kilos last October in Klaipeda. And Nina Schanke on the stage again to take her 101 kilo attempt. Now, she is a whisker lighter than the Russian you just saw successfully lift. So this would put Nina into first place.
That was a far better attempt than we saw on the first go. Really came out on fire.
Well, 101 kilos by my reckoning. Michaela, you've got some stats as well, though. I think this is a kilo personal best.
Yep, I agree. 100 kilos was her best set last year. There's a personal best. Well, just by 1 kilo, but you know what? At this level, every kilo matters. And when you're vying for an Olympic place, it's so, so important to execute. She still has 1 attempt remaining.
And Nyoka Schanke now for France. Went to Houston, finished in the top 10. That was a pretty decent performance by her, I have to say. But she was also the silver medalist last year, behind the absent Lydia Valentin of Spain. But she was well behind the Spanish lifter, some 15 kilos down on the winning total.
Pretty comfortable, yes it is. I've got an interesting fact on there, Schanke. Her father actually, the family originate from the Cameroon, and her father represented Cameroon in the Beijing Olympic Games in the 85 kilo category. Schanke, so good to see it running in the family.
But of course, so many of the athletes from the Cameroon have found their way to France, or France have gone and talent spotted them to bring them in, and they've been delighted to do that because they've had, you know, a good deal more support in terms of coaching and, well, general support, you know, living expenses. And now Wyszak out for Poland. 102 kilos. Well, I suppose it had to happen, Michaela. We'd had 8 good attempts. Somebody was going to let the side down.
Yeah, 9. That was a 10th attempt. All good lifts so far in this competition. Complete contrast to what we saw in the men's group yesterday. Just not quite underneath the bar. Slightly out in front.
So, bar at 102 kilos. Nyoka Schanke in the lead, but now being challenged by Shishanova of the Ukraine. Shishanova lighter than the Frenchwoman, so again this is for the lead. Shishanova, decent effort in the Junior Worlds last year. And there's a bit more to come.
Yeah, 7th place. I make it in the World Juniors last year, 4th at the European Juniors. Good to see her stepping up through the ranks, though. This is her first senior international competition. Really confident underneath the bar. Some good lifting, 2 out of 2, 1 to go. She's just 2 kilos below her best.
Yeah, and she was already pretty promising when she was in the youth ranks as well. She was medaling at youth world level, which is not 75, but plus 69. So Pegasion now looking for 3 out of 3. And again, a new personal best. So building really nicely. This will be 5 kilos up on what she did in Houston at the Worlds, end of November. Don't say it about the number. Do not speak about the number.
Well, the only number I was going to refer to is that's 201 kilos. No, it's not. 101 kilos. Oh, goodness me. 102 kilos. 5 kilo personal best. Brilliant lifting.
Yeah, that's very good. Lovely little series. Personal best all the way, so really good job there. She sits at the top of the table at the moment, but now her future is in the hands of others, but there she is. The Armenian leads, and Shishanova with 1 to come. And still, of course, Decker and Prishapa to start their challenges. So 2 in the wings. You can see them at the bottom of that 2nd page. So Wiechek out to Polish. Still only Johanna Wachowska has achieved medals for the Polish team. Hugely surprising. And that 3rd attempt failure anchors her down in 6th place, I'm afraid.
Yes, you can see the disappointment on her face. What a shame. Let's have a look at the replay. Good off the floor, knees come back, nice extension. Just on her toes as she lands.
So the bar to 103 for Nina Strod of Germany. Now she really needs this. At the moment she's lying in 4th place, but needs to put herself back in the medal ranking. Again, a new personal best attempt. Great to see that everybody's just pushing themselves just that little bit further. They know what it means in this Olympic qualifying competition.
Oh, it's close.
So she stays 4th.
She does. Just look at the stature. She's not so tall. She must be getting close to 6 foot, and that's an awful long way to move the bar. Good extension, speed under the bar, just didn't generate enough height.
So Natalia Prishapa of Moldova has gone up from 104 to 106, and Decker has stayed on 110, so that's why we're going to see Nyoka Schanke for France to come in next.
There's 100k on the bar for Decker warming up. Well, Nyoka Schanke has sat down in the warm-up room. The clock is ticking. Do they realise that she's being called to the platform? Coming up to 35 seconds right now. Coaches need to wake up.
Somebody is not looking at the scoreboard with a hat down. Yeah. Yes, we couldn't see the marshal's desk, but probably it was all changing at that particular moment in time. But It's going to be Makhyanova for Russia to come out for 105, 50 seconds. Remember, she had very little time on the previous attempt, only came out with half a minute, so this will be a little bit more comfortable. So, 105 kilos. This is still within her range. But not in her head. Well, I'm very surprised at that.
So much of this game, as we discussed earlier in the week, is psychological. It's all very well having the physical attributes and the technical ability to lift the weights, but if you don't believe it, you can forget it. Look how high the bar comes, way too high. It doesn't need to be anywhere near that high.
I suppose having a personal best of 110 is relevant, but not really when you consider it was in 2014, and in more recent times she's just been sort of surpassing 100-odd kilos. But now Prisepa out at 106 to open up her account. First time we've seen her on the stage.
Just, goodness me, lack the extension through the middle phase of the lift. We'll see it on the replay. You want to get full extension at the knee and the hip. Just caught it short, and that's why it was in front. She was lucky to get away with that.
But get away with it she has. It puts her in the lead. Pegasion with those 3 good attempts down to silver medal position. Shishanova in third, and it's going to be Shishanova to come out again. Now, Shishanova, again, light body weight here, 73.22 compared to Prisepa's 74.20. So, Shishanova for her third and final attempt.
This is a big
now,
increase.
106. This is a big attempt for her.
Oh, another 4 kilos from her previous attempt. The previous attempt looked pretty tough.
Yeah, and this is, again, another personal best attempt.
Well, I think you'll see on the replay, David, that the bar drifted out around her knees. Very disappointing. You've got to have the discipline as the bar comes off the floor. Watch this. Out, around. First movement, the bar moved out. Very hard to recover from that. Often these lifts are won or lost between what happens from the floor to mid-thigh.
So this is quite interesting now, because Nyoka Schanke has got 2 attempts left. Prisepa's got 2 attempts left, and Deka hasn't even started the second of the Ukrainians. So a great chance here for Nyoka Schanke, last year's silver medalist, to put herself from 4th right up front with 107 kilos ahead of the Moldovan lifter. Good explosion.
Really good speed, and again we've got another lifter who's very tall in stature. So far for the bar to move.
Yeah,
but didn't she do well?
Good to watch, isn't she? I mean,
Yeah.
she's a good exponent.
Well, it just shows a tall athlete can still move quickly. And these girls are super athletic. If you want to know how tough that is, go and grab yourself a broomstick and try and sit in that squat position with your feet flat on the floor.
So she's got 1 life left. Prisepa's got 2, and Deka at the moment still to start. So the woman in danger of being pushed out of the medals there is Pegasion. You can see her there in 3rd place. And there's nothing that she did wrong. It's just the fact that there are 2-3 athletes who are just taking the bigger weights there. But, you know, 102, she's got the better of Shishanova, and also Germany's Nina Schrott and Makhyanova. So she's actually done pretty well there, Sonia Pegasion. The lightest of the class, and now Irina Deka for the Ukraine. Junior world bronze medalist last year. 8th in Europe in the seniors. And she also got a silver in the European juniors, but she was over 75 kilos when she achieved that in body weight.
Well, a very comfortable first attempt. Really comfortable, looking on form. Let's see how much further she is able to go. Just watch the replay. Good extension, nice and fast, no messing around. Absolutely nailed it.
Yeah, well, for me, that was the most impressive snatch that we've seen in the whole competition so far. But now Prishepa trying to come out and mix it with the Ukrainian. She's the lighter of the two. So Nyoka Schanke into silver. Prishepa at the moment sitting in third. Schanke guaranteed a medal. Prishepa looking for gold. But how different her attempt to that of Decker.
Wow, just looking at the... I can't see from this angle, but I don't see anything wrong with that. I'm not sure why one of the referees failed
See
to
that
lift.
from the front, and
It was a good lift.
here you go.
It's fine.
No problems there. So, in third place at the moment, 110 kilos. Now, she's lighter than her two other rivals, the Moldovan and the Ukrainian. So this to go into the gold medal position for 3 out of 3. Stands up, and there's nothing wrong with that. A coach going crackers.
Absolutely brilliant. Great to see that kind of response when you know how much it means to these lifters. That was a huge attempt, and it meant so much to her. Just brilliant lifting. Went sideways. Good stability in the shoulders, not to go all the way over. And you think the coach is chuffed?
Yeah. So, Prishepa has put the bar up to 112. By the way, Decker has proposed 115 for her second attempt. She's in the driving seat because she's got 2 more attempts to come. Now, this woman has been making her lifts, but maybe not in as elegant a way as, say, Nyoka Schanke, or as convincing as Decker on her first attempt. No, and it went out of her head, and that means that Nyoka Schanke has definitely got no worse than a silver. At the moment, she's in gold, but now she has to wait and see what Decker is going to do.
Just watch here, backside lift, takes the weight off her legs, doesn't have the self-belief to drop underneath. Generated plenty of upward momentum on the bar, though.
Well, she put up 105, she's now gone to 113 kilos. Now, I know she's done 112, but this has to be a new mark for her. She must be super confident to take this from 110 to 113. And I think she is going to go for 115 on the third attempt.
I think she is. Needs to be careful. Starting position, just still moving. Head up, chest up as the bar came off the floor. Little rushed compared to the first attempt. Nonetheless, very, very stable underneath the bar.
And she's got the strength.
She has.
So if she masters the technique, she obviously will be following herself. She has the last lift. There's Nyoka Schanke. Hasn't done anything wrong. 3 out of 3, 110 kilos. At the moment, she's 3 kilos behind. They have the situation with just that last attempt to come. Pegasion, good effort there. 3 out of 3. Full marks to her in 4th place. Just a pity there isn't a medal for 4th.
Oh. Worst place to finish.
You know, but she's the lightest of her class, and she's seen off quite a few decent lifters, so good effort.
Well, you see in the warm-up room some of these lifters now starting their warm-up for the clean and jerk. After we see Decker on a third attempt, they will have only 10 minutes to warm up before the competition gets underway again. And they drop the bar right back to an empty bar, 15 kilos. Just play with that, stay warm, and then they'll start loading.
Yeah, and you can see the size of the warm-up room. Really good, actually, because it keeps it airy, keeps it cool, and also provides plenty of room for movement, particularly if you're rushing at the last second. So Irina Decker out for the Ukraine, 115 kilos. And her third and final attempt, and for an important 5-kilo cushion over Schanke and Prishepa of France and Moldova, respectively. Well, I think for me that was better than the second one.
Yeah, personal best attempt. She almost smiled as she came off the platform. 3 out of 3, bearing in mind she is only halfway through the competition. Needs to stay focused now. That was a really solid final attempt. Absolutely brilliant to see.
And that really is a useful 5-kilo advantage as we come to the half-time. And 10 minutes for the women to get ready for the clean and jerk. And Ukraine have got the gold, France the silver, Moldova the bronze. That's the way it is at the first half, and their confirmation, you can see the differentials there. Pegasion 102 kilos, so very difficult for her to get back into contention for the overall honours. But even harder for the likes of Shishanova and Nina Shrod and Makhyanova of Russia. A lot of catching up to do. Once again, if you're just joining us, we're at the halfway stage of the women's 75-kilo category, and a really good fight. And this is the situation with Irina Decker of the Ukraine, a 5-kilo advantage over Schanke of France, who was the runner-up to Lydia Valentin last year, and Natalia Prishepa on 110 kilos, just in third place by virtue of heavier body weight, and then Pegasion in fourth place for Armenia, the 18-year-old, despite the fact that she made 3 very good attempts and improved on her personal best. So we look forward now to the clean and jerk, and the opening weights proposed by each lifter are as follows on your screen there. And you can see there the significant kilos there, 130 proposed by Decker, and Nyoka Schanke 129, playing catch-up. And before we go any further, let's have a look at the best of the clean and jerks from the B group. And this is Anna van Bellingen, as you can see, 192 kilos on the bar.
She's wobbling all over the place, but as long as she stands still, it's happy days. That was a power jerk. Good to see her nailing her third attempt.
And that 92 kilos gave her a total of 122, and her total good enough to put her into the lead in the clean and jerk. Actually, I beg your pardon, 122 kilos for the clean and jerk and 214 for the total. So she is the leader in the clubhouse. And that's Anna van Bellingen. 92 kilos in the snatch, 122 in the clean and jerk, 214. That's the total the others are now chasing.
170, please. 117. 117 kilograms on the bar. Małgorzata Bijak, Pola, first attempt, pierwsze podejście. Nina Shrod is next week.
So, Wijak out for Poland, but already 1 or 2 changes on the starting
Yeah, looking at
weights.
the starting weights, I'm just looking at what Decker has. She's posted a 130. I've got her best down as 124. So whether she's doing that to try and wind up the other lifters and the other coaches, and she may bring it down, we'll have to wait and see. But Nyoka Schanke, 125. She's got a best of 137. As we saw in the snatch, she may well increase that, probably closer to 130. So it's going to be close. Really good first attempt from Wierzak, Poland. 117 kilos. She still looks a little frustrated, having missed those lifts on the snatch, but that was a good opening attempt in the clean and jerk. She should be pleased with that. Personal best of 126. 122 at this bodyweight, 126 she was overweight, so fairly close.
So Wierzak goes into the overall lead, 216 kilos, but still only third place in the clean and jerk. So Schanke now in fifth place at the halfway stage. No problems with 117 kilos, and Schanke goes ahead of Wierzak by 3 kilos.
Stands up strong, adjusts the bar high off her windpipe. Really solid in the receiving position.
So Nina Schroth now to open her campaign on 118 kilos. And this is pretty well on her all-time best, so she knows that she's under pressure here to earn points for herself, possibly. She is the German lifter who's most likely to go to Rio if they get a place. And just we've just had some predictions, haven't we, about Britain's fortunes, the collective number of points. And at the moment we're, according to the predictions, because it's not only the points we've achieved, but it's the points we should achieve according to the ranking of the remaining lifters for Great Britain, we're lying in second place.
Yeah, second place, likely to drop down a place after this competition because we don't have any British representation, but hopefully, fingers crossed, with Mercy Brown going in the women's supers tomorrow, we can stay easily in the top 6 and hopefully qualify a place for Rio. So really exciting for the British team.
And that's a fair start there by Makhanova for Russia. And then, of course, like so many teams, it'll be a question of deciding who gets the place. And in Britain's terms, well, that's going to bring Rebecca Tyler into competition with Zoe Smith. And Rebecca had a simple phrase yesterday when popped that question by a member of the press, and she said, "Bring it on."
Do you know what? It's going to be very close. You know, injuries can play a big part now. And if we do get one place, it's going to be an absolute battle come the British Championships. Tickets are on sale now, so come and watch it. It's going to be one to watch, definitely.
Yeah, and I think the big question really is the question about Zoe Smith. She's definitely got a back injury. She needs a scan on that to check on exactly where she is on it. But, you know, basically, Mikhaili, you know more than I do about these things. It's rest or at the worst case.
She hasn't had a reaction. Zoe hasn't had a reaction after competing the other day, so that's a good sign. The question is now, can she have a good run up to the British without being hampered by that injury?
So Pegasion looking for 4 out of 4, opening up on 120. Well, she's enjoying herself. Nice little smile there at the end. And, you know, she's making the kilos because she's definitely, you know, up on her total at the World Championships, which was, what, only 4 months ago.
Yeah, just look at the dynamic force that we're seeing here. Power jerk to finish off. And just gives you some comparison, the stature between Pegasion and Stroh, for example, of Germany. Very different in terms of height, compactness, if that's a word. So much easier the shorter you are.
So Jacques already got a total, but down in 5th place. And this now is a 4-kilo increase, which would put her up to silver medal overall. And the lead in the clean and jerk, for the moment at least.
And she looks much more comfortable in the second phase of the lift. Has to work hard to stand with a clean. Really not looking very happy, is she?
No.
Working hard there. Gets it off a windpipe, but very solid overhead.
Shishanova, 121 kilos. I'll bring you up to date with the heavier opening first attempts in a moment after this lift.
Ooh, just a small wobble. Took that extra second to steady herself, just to say to the referees, I've got it. There was nothing wrong with that, though.
Yeah, I can't understand that. There was absolutely nothing wrong with that.
It's
Let's have
fine.
a look at that.
Need to
again,
see from the front, but we'll have a look at that in a sec. Here we go. Well, what's wrong with that? She had a wobble once she had the down signal, but she still took her time just to say, look, I am in control.
Yeah.
No problems.
I don't understand that. So Nina Stroh out now for 121 kilos, 3-kilo increase.
Oh, that's tough.
Well, that's a good finish after that clean.
It is. That was a really tough clean, and that just shows the difficulty that she faces with the additional height. But that is also a 3-kilo personal best, so good on her.
Yeah, 222 kilos, new total mark, excellent. And 2 good attempts there. So she's actually got 4 out of 5 now. She's really digging deep now. She needs this 3rd attempt. You just know it might be 1 place higher at the end of the afternoon. And there, the state of play. Pegasion down into 2nd place overall at the moment, but lifting well. And now Makianova of Russia trying to pull herself up from 6th in the clean and jerk rankings and 5th overall with this attempt. No problem with the clean. And doesn't waste any time either.
Yeah, very efficient in the manner in which she lifts, doesn't waste the time. Gets the bar up, gets the bar off her windpipe as soon as possible.
But still, Prishepa of Moldova to start. 124 kilos she's posted, which is what she originally posted to start on. And Daka of the Ukraine, those two having a ding-dong battle on 130. And that's what she proposed to start on. And Nyoka Schanke, she's on 125 kilos, again, sticking to what she originally planned. So now the principals are going to get involved now. So some really good lifting in the clean and jerk. No mistakes so far, so I hope that isn't the commentator's curse, because it should be Natalia Prisepa.
Why do you say that? You know
Yeah.
that's going to be the curse.
Well, yeah, but hopefully not on the first attempt.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
We haven't seen much of Decca in the warm-up room, and I'm really interested to see if she comes out on 1:30, because that will be a huge personal best just to start the competition.
124.
The clock is ticking. We're down to 16 seconds, and no sign yet of Prisepa. What's happened? The coach
Well,
has
she's
seen
come down
what's
to
gone on.
124.
She's going to fail. She's going to get timed out
No,
here.
she's not going to make this.
5 seconds.
They brought it down, but they mucked it up.
Oh, dear me.
Where is Decca? We need to see her.
Well, it's not the lifter's fault or responsibility. This is the job of the coach. Get the lifter to the platform in time. Simple.
Well, that is a real waste.
Только все включай сразу. Все, потерпеть.
So, Pegasion, I don't quite understand this at the moment. Pegasion is 124 kilos, and the bar is...
What's on there? 110, 120, I think, on the bar. Well, that is this episode. She is warming. I don't think the coaches have realised that she was called or that she's even been timed out. She's still warming up. Well, if that's the case, that's a huge error from the coaching staff.
So, Shishanova, 124. She is the current leader. And this for 3 out of 3, another 3 kilos here. She's the current leader by virtue of lighter body weight over the Russian. So this to take her to 226. A lead in both the clean and jerk and the total. That's okay. Just slides the hands out, makes the distance shorter. But you saw the hips went behind.
Well, if we watch the replay, there's a couple of things here that went wrong. Firstly, chest not quite high enough as she came off the floor, which made the clean more challenging than it should have been. Here, chest is low. But as she dips and drives, she's trying to push with her arms, and the bar actually leaves her shoulders, making that change in direction on the dip and drive very hard. It's almost like she's trying to drive up, but the bar's still trying to come down. Well, the Moldovan coaches are awake. They've increased her weight to 126 for Prisepa. Don't know what went on there, I'd like to know.
Well, I think there was some confusion about the cards on the table, but meanwhile, Pegasion out again. Now, 125 kilos, so a 5 kilo increase. Now, this is now a serious question for her. But, you know, maybe the coaches and Pegasion are starting to think, you know, who knows? This is only a second attempt. There might just be an outside chance of getting in there for a bronze medal. It is an outside chance, but nonetheless, make the lift, put the pressure on the others. So this for 227 and the outright lead. Lightest of the class. Pity.
Yeah, that would have put some pressure on, but worth noting at this stage that Nyoka Schanke of France has increased her starting weight from 125 up to 130 to try and stay competitive with Decca. So we're in for a really hot clean and jerk here. Just watch what happens. Good extension, good speed, bar hits her hard, bounces off. Timing is everything.
Well, Nyoka Schanke and Prisepa both know they're 5 kilos adrift after the first part of the competition, so Via coming out now for Poland for her third and final attempt. She's much happier in this discipline than she was in the first half of the competition. So 4 kilos would take her to 224, would put her in the overall lead.
This is more than she's done in this weight category as well.
Third attempt. Well, that's where you would expect both the athlete and the coaches to push that little bit further.
Nearly past the sticking point. What a shame. Working so hard, she just does not look happy at all. I didn't think the clean and jerk was too bad, to be honest, but...
Now, this is really interesting, because Nina Schroth is coming out on the same weight in a moment, and again, this could be worth a medal.
There's no way she's going to stand with this. I cannot see that she's got the leg strength. The previous attempt on 121 looked like a limit. She stands with this, I'll eat my words.
Well, this is very much the chips are down, the money's on the table.
Well, if she cleans it, you'd like to think she can jerk it. She's very good overhead.
4 kilo increase to take her to 226 and give her just a whisper of a chance at a medal. Come on, come on. Oh. Well.
More squats, more leg strength, back to the gym. Good effort though, good commitment, diving underneath. She's not far off. We see a really good position off the floor, great extension, drops under as the bar's still coming up. Quite simply doesn't have the leg or the back strength.
So Sonia Pegasion now. $125 kilos again. This would round off a very respectable afternoon. It would be an afternoon of progress wherever she ends up. Maybe it'll be out of the medals as it was in the snatch phase, but it would be a really good afternoon's work if she can finish this off.
She's got the legs to stand with this. Can she time it right? It's better.
Come on. Gutsy. Really gutsy.
Brilliant attempt. 5 kilo personal best. You cannot ask much more. 5 out of 6 lifts as well. Some brilliant lifting.
Well, look at this. Terrific effort. 217 kilos total in the World Championships in Houston some 3 months ago. And now she's top of the table at 227. That's a 7 kilo improvement. So that's the way she's prepared, and that's the way she's delivered at these European Championships. That's excellent. And that's even just for a bonus, a kilo more than her entered total, although, as you keep telling me, they're all just wild.
Made up.
They're all made up. And now Prishepa having to make up for that lost lift. Doesn't have a total, 126, to re-establish herself in the competition.
No problems.
No, but what a wasted life.
Yeah, I really want to know what happened back there. We didn't really see. We didn't have cameras at the right place in the warm-up room when the clock ran down previously. Yes, a wasted life, but that looks solid. She needs to, well, I guess sit back and wait and see what she needs. Good lifting.
So 236, the top total at the moment, and that's the medal position for the clean and jerk. So Makianova of Russia to take her third attempt. Now she has just dropped out of the medals overall. She's in bronze for the clean and jerk, but needs these 4 kilos. This would, well, it doesn't really matter what it would do because she didn't lift it, and that's expensive.
It is expensive. 127 was her best. It's a weight she has done before.
So Decha, understandably, given what's been going on, has come down from 130 to 127 for her opening first attempt, and that's a sensible move.
It is. As I said at the start, I think that 130 was to try and psych out some of the opposition, and I sensed that she would bring it down. If I'm honest, I thought she would bring it down lower than 127, but starting 3 kilos above any weight that I've got registered for her previously.
No, she's in a different land to compare with anything she's done previously. Easy clean.
Squat jerk, and do you know what? That is one of the most solid, dynamic squat jerks I've seen. Really good.
Well, that's re-established Decker now. She's not 5, but 6 kilos ahead of Prishipa Pegasion in bronze medal position. Of course, Schanke is the lifter that can really make a difference here, and she's put the bar to 130. Now, this is very interesting because, remember, she was 5 kilos down on the snatch behind Decker, so this would make up 4 of them.
She's gone up again, David. Just as you were saying that, she's now gone up to 132, and that would be the weight she needs. She needs to stay 5 kilos ahead, basically, of whatever Decker does, so...
Yes, because Schanke weighed in at 73.87, and Decker is 74.46, and Prishipa is 74.20. So in both cases, Schanke, in terms of body weight, has got the edge. And that could, at the end of the day, be really important. Now, Prishipa for Moldova. 4 kilo increase. She's 6 behind. And this is the last attempt. So she's just trying to consolidate silver here. But the bonus is going into the gold medal in the clean and jerk.
It is, and that's a 3 kilo personal best on the clean and jerk. Again, what a competition. 5 out of 6 lifts.
But they must, I mean, she must be sick with, you know, I mean, she just doesn't look happy because she's been messed up, hasn't she?
I've been there as an athlete myself. When your coaches mess up, it is so frustrating as an athlete. You're the one that's putting all the hard work. Your coaches have a very simple job to do.
Now, Schanke prematurely up on the podium because she thought she was going for 132, but Decker coming in here for 131.
Ooh. Interesting call.
Yeah, 4 kilos. So this would take her to 246. And this is unbelievably clear of what she did in the Junior World Championship. She did the 224 in the Junior World Championships last year. That's June of last year.
Incredible improvements in such a short space of time. Precision to be able to do that. The flexibility in the shoulders, the strength in the legs to stand up with that weight again. It's just tremendous to see. And she has to be one of the best squat jerkers I think I've ever seen.
So Schanke finally comes out here. Now remember, she's got Schanke 110 kilos from the first half, so this would take her to 242. It would put her into second place in the total, obviously in the lead, but 242 would put her only 4 kilos behind Decker, and she would have 2 attempts to come. The runner-up last year, well beaten by Lydia Valentin, but the potential possibility here of a gold medal needs to make this, though. Good split, good effort, good lift.
Well, very solid opening attempt. Clearly has the leg strength to stand with a far greater weight. Here we see explosive all the way through. The adjustment of the hands really rests the bar on top of the clavicles. Hardly even touches the deltoid muscles. I don't know how she does that. Great leg drive. Happy days.
Yes, and the French also very much involved in the chase for Olympic qualifying places, very much involved with Great Britain.
They are, and they're ahead of us at the moment, and I think they're going to finish ahead of us. But they've had a great championships. 1 or 2 dodgy lifters at the start. I think they had a bomber in one of the earlier groups with a dodgy elbow, but they've recovered well, and they've got a very strong team here this year's Europeans. You can see the leaderboard there. Nyoka Schanke in the lead on the clean and jerk.
Absolutely. But Schanke now breathing a little bit more on the neck of Irina Decker, because Decker's got one attempt left and Schanke's got two. Now, Decker has put the bar to, what, 138?
That's interesting.
No, she hasn't put it to 138, has she?
No,
136.
135 for Decker,
135 now, yeah.
for Schanke. But just watching the clock then, it ran all the way down to a minute. And the rules are the lifters have, or the coaches have to change the weight before the clock runs 30 seconds. But it took 30 seconds for the message to get from the warm-up room back to the front desk.
So 135, 4 kilo increase. So this would take her to 251. Fantastic effort. Look at the determination to actually make that lift.
That's an 11-kilo personal best just on her clean and jerk. Well, that is some serious improvement in such a short space of time.
It's 27-kilo improvement in just over 3 months.
I want to know what kind of training she's been doing.
And 6 out of 6, so you can't complain, you can't criticise. She's executed, and now it's up to Schanke.
Technically outstanding as well. Such a great squat position. Really, really solid, good and stable. And
Schanke's putting on the 8 kilos that she needs to rise up to 250 and take the title by virtue of lighter body weight. She's got 2 attempts at this.
Nothing to lose, David. She's already guaranteed the silver overall, the silver on the clean and jerk. This for the big one. Yeah, Prishipa in the overall bronze. Pegasion, as she was in the snatch phase, down in 4th place. So, silver last year. Could it be gold this time around? Ooh, if she gets that timing right, she could stand. I believe she's got the legs to stand with the weight based on the first attempt that we saw. Got to be driving straight out. You can't sit there. Looking at the position off the floor, really good. Good extension. Just slightly kick the bar out as it came off her thighs. Needs to maintain more of a flat foot position for a little longer. She knows she can do that. And you know what is so important, Mikhailo? No disrespect to any of these lifters, but actually the level at which they're lifting in terms of best European performances, best world performances, is quite a way below. But for this woman in picture now, this may be her only chance to become a European champion, because next year things may get tougher, and that's how important this is. Well, she's got every opportunity here. This would be a 3-kilo increase on her personal best, so it is a huge ask. But if ever you're going to set a personal best, now is the time to do it. Great atmosphere here as well. Yeah. Well, it's just coming up to a minute to go. And Schanke, 140 kilos. If she makes this, she takes the title. If it's too heavy, Decker will be the champion for the Ukraine. Ukraine versus France. Ukraine with the kilos on the board. 8-kilo increase. Believe. Oh, goodness me, so close. Well, that was closer, but the championship has gone to the Ukraine, and it is Irina Decker who has taken the title at the age of 19 with a total of 250 kilos.
And actually, for her, that's a massive personal best. But you've got to go back to something like 2004 to see this particular European title won with those sort of kilos. In those years, it was Svetlana Podobedova who at that time represented Russia. But nonetheless, you can only beat the people who are with you in the warm-up room and out on the competition stage. And that's what Irina Deka has done. And well, Nyoka Schanke, she knows the opportunity that she has lost there. She maneuvered herself into an absolutely excellent position. Irina Deka takes the third gold medal there, 6 out of 6, so she gets the deserved reward. Nyoka Schanke with the silver. Prishiper, what an expensive first failure and a muck-up by the coaches there, but nonetheless she gets the bronze medal. And momentarily we'll have the total scores for you, but ultimately it was Deka's last attempt. Here it is.
Really, really strong clean, superb squat jerk to come. Well, huge improvements. She's going to be pretty chuffed tonight, I think.
Oh. So there's the overall result. And you can see by 8 kilos, Schanke takes the gold. Prishiper, 10 kilos off the mark.